Hi friends, it's Gwen, and today I thought I would film a quick little video on how I read, rate, and review books. As we all know, I recently started my BookTube channel, and before now I really haven't had a good system of a way to read, review, and rate books. But I recently saw a video from Jillian at Bookish and Nerdy, and she did a video about this. So I was thinking about a way that I can come up with to properly write reviews and rate books, especially like on Goodreads and on my blog, because I have been writing reviews on my blog lately. I'm trying to do any book that is kind of happening right now, like even if it's like a 2013 book or something like that. If a lot of people are starting to read it right now or starting to hear about it right now, I'm trying to write a review for that. And then of course if it's a new release, like within the year, I'm writing a book about it. Of course the year's almost over, so then I'll be changing over to 2015, but whatever. You get my point. So in hers, she kind of, and on Jillian's video, she kind of went over like her rating system, and then I sat and thought about it and came up with my own rating system. So thanks Jillian for this great idea. I'll link her channel down in the description box. Now first I have to say, another reason why I'm choosing to do this video is because I recently in my August wrap-up talked about Me and Earl and the Dying Girl, and I told all you guys that I rated it a 1 out of 5 stars. Now since that time, while I'm not saying I've totally changed my mind about the book, I did end up increasing my star rating to 2 out of 5 stars. And I'll explain that a little bit later. But first, I wanted to get into how I'm going to rate my books. Now, I am new on, I'm still fairly new on Goodreads too, y'all. I mean, it hasn't even been a year. I joined last October. I don't know the date, like the 13th, maybe. I don't know. But October of 2013, I joined Goodreads. And just last month, I joined BookTube, so I am fairly new at this. I've never really written reviews on my blog before. Even though I've been a reader for a long time, I've never like taken it to this next step. So this is kind of like good to kind of find out, still in the beginning stages of how I'm going to move forward. And it may change over time, and I'll let you guys know about that if and when it does. But being the teacher that I am, I thought that I could use the basic story elements to rate books, and they will fall into the 5 basic story elements. How I have rated books in the past is when I'm finished reading a book, I basically just my overall feeling for the book. Did I absolutely love it? Oh my gosh, I need to recommend it to everybody in the entire world. That's a 5-star rating for me. Did I really enjoy the book and I thought it was awesome? That's a 4-star book. A 3-star book was okay. You know, I probably won't reread it, but it's not necessarily going to be one of those books that I recommend to a lot of people. A 2-star rating, which Me, Earl, and the Dying Girl is my first 2-star rating now. And that's kind of like a book that, it wasn't the worst book in the entire world, but it needed a lot of work. And a 1-star rating is, OMG, is this really even a book? Kind of. That's kind of how I did it in the past. But now that I have a new system in place that I'm about to go into, this will explain a little bit more in depth on what I'm actually looking for. And if you read my reviews on my blog, because I'm not going to post them on my blog and post them on Goodreads. I mean, I might do like a little snippet on Goodreads, but the majority of my reviews will be on my blog. And how I'm going to lay that up is I usually post a picture of the cover, then I talk a little bit about it with a link to Amazon in case you want to buy it. And no, I'm not affiliated with Amazon. I get absolutely zero money you clicking through my site with the little linky and buying it. So I just put that out there because I like when someone's talking about something, I can just click on it and be like, oh, that's what they're talking about. That's how much it is. This is where I can buy it. So, okay. And sorry, I'm a little sick today. second day of being sick. So anyway, so I'm not going to really write in-depth reviews on Goodreads. I'm just going to do maybe little snippets, maybe nothing at all, maybe just my rating system. And if you're wanting more in-depth, you could post comments down below when I talk about books, or you can, message me on Twitter or Instagram or email me, or there's a million ways to get in contact with me if you want me to go more in-depth with a book. But I start off with a little snippet about the book. Then I talk about basically the plot line of the book and what the book is basically about. I try not to do any spoilers on my blog. And if I do, I'll label it spoiler. And then at the very end, I kind of tell like what I thought. And then I'm going to use my 5 story elements which I'm about to tell you about. And I'll rate each of those story elements out of 5 stars. And then I'm basically going to get I'm going to add all of those scores together and then divide by 5 since there's 5 story elements. And then that's the score that I'll give the book. If it has a decimal point, that's where I can decide myself whether I'm going to round down or up. So there's kind of how I do things on my blog. And here's how I will further be rating books on BookTube, on my blog, and on Goodreads. The 5 story elements. Characters, the setting, plot, conflict/purpose, resolution/outcome. Okay, for category number 1, the characters, how well developed are the characters? Are they supposed to be well developed? Are you not supposed to know about the characters that much? Do I like them? Do I hate them? Now let me stop right there. If I hate a character, to me, maybe I'm supposed to hate the character. All characters are not supposed to fall in love with and absolutely love them. There's obviously characters out there that I'm going to hate. But do I have a relationship with them? Will I remember them? Or, things like that. That's how I'm going to judge characters. The setting. Was it unique? Was it boring? Do I know where the plot is when this is happening? Are they telling me about the world that I'm reading about? Is this something that I should already know about? Like, is it set in a high school? And, do I know it's set in a high school? And, what's going on in the high school? Are they giving me details about the background? Basically, where's the story taking place? And do I like that? Is it going into detail? Is that a part of the story? The third element is the plot, of course. Does the story actually have a plot? Does it make sense? Those are the basics. Does it have one? Does it make sense to me? Okay, now the conflict or the purpose, obviously, usually, speaking like school terms, it's the conflict. But for me, it's also the purpose. And it's kind of like, why is the author even writing this story? Or why is this story even being told? So to me, I want to know, like, what challenge are we, headed towards? Is someone being kidnapped? Is there a murder to investigate? What is our purpose of reading this book? Then the fifth element, the last element, is the resolution or the outcome. Now, sometimes there's books that if I was the author, I wouldn't have really written the ending that way. But that's not how I'm judging it. I'm judging it based on, was the story wrapped up? If I just read, like, if I'm reading like a trilogy or something like that, I know the book is going to continue, so I know a lot of those books have cliffhangers at the end, so I'm not going to judge like, oh, they didn't answer all the questions that were in this book, it gets a big fat 0. No, I'm saying, like, have we gotten over that hump? Are we working towards an outcome? Is there an outcome or a resolution in sight? If not, like, what's the point? Because I don't want to just keep... those shows, those TV shows, it's like season 6 or season 7, and you're like, we haven't solved the thing from like episode number 1. You know what show I'm talking about? Yeah, those shows. The ones that like keep having problems, like things keep coming up, new conflicts, new purposes, no resolution. No outcome. Those are the type of books. So those are the 5. To review again, it's going to be characters, setting, the plot, the conflict/purpose, and the resolution/outcome. Those will be the 5 story elements that I use. Again, I will add the scores of those, divide by 5 since there's 5 story elements, and have my rating for my book. It will also help me on my blog to be more clear about you'll be able to see what I liked and what I didn't like from that. Like if the characters have a 5, but the setting is like a 0 or a 1, like you'll be like, okay, wow, what's going on with the setting? So that is going to be how I review and rate books on Goodreads, on my blog, and here on BookTube. I hope you enjoyed this quick video, and I hope you'll take a moment to just subscribe below. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked this video or the way I'm going to start reviewing and rating my books. And I'll see you next time. Bye.